Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again. And this time we're going to look at game number 14 in our 20 from 1989 series. And this is the first in a long series of games, most of which were not seen in America, but the very first one was. And in America it was called Buster Brothers. And pretty much everywhere else it's known as Pang. And this is a pretty cool game for the first game. This was created by a company called Mitchell, a Japanese company called Mitchell, and licensed to Capcom in the U.S. And like I said, it's also known as Pang. It is also known as Pumping World, but most everywhere in the world it's known as Pang. I might have seen this once in Nickel Arcade. It is a pretty cool little strategy type of action game. You are like a safari explorer type of character, and you have what's either a harpoon gun or a grappling hook, one of the two, and you shoot them upwards. You cannot shoot them left or right or down, only upwards, and they are fired when you press the action button. Now, to start with, you can actually level select up to a certain point. You will have to face all those locations eventually, whether you start at the beginning or skip ahead. But there are various locations around the world, and the background graphics are pretty nice. And we start with Mount Fuji. Now, there are these bouncing spheres. They look like balls. Some people call them balloons, but they don't have a tie at the bottom, so I'm just going to call them balls. And your goal is to strike them with your grappling hook or harpoon, whatever you want to call it, and break those balls down into small pieces until they're nothing. But contact touching a small ball or a large ball is instantly fatal. What a pussy you are. And note that in the little cutscenes between the stages, the graphics make you look suspiciously like Gohan from Dragon Ball Z. I'm assuming that Akira Toriyama did not give his blessing for that look-alike. Now, sometimes there will be certain critters that enter the gameplay. Now, they will not kill you upon contact, but they will prevent you from shooting your grappling hook or whatever for a while. Note that there are power-ups that will fall from broken down balls, and they include a double harpoon, which lets you fire two on the screen at once instead of just one, as per usual. You are timed. If you run out of time, you will lose a life. And note the timer is at the top right. Other power-ups is a power wire, and that is a single wire that will connect to the ceiling or a block or whatever it touches, and that will stay taut until a ball runs into it and breaks down or disappears if it's small. There is also a Vulcan missile, which is a gun that shoots double shots upward. And that is nice because you can shoot multiple shots. Hey, there is the Capcom Yashichi making a cameo. And that will give you an extra life. There is also a spark-looking symbol, and that gives you a force field, and it is a protection against one hit from one of the balls. It actually... You get the hit and then you flash for a little bit before the shield is gone. But those shields are very nice, and the double shot Vulcan missile is very, very nice. Make sure you collect them whenever you can. There is also an hourglass that can appear, and that will, I think that restores time on the clock. And there is also a clock which will freeze the enemies for a short time, or freeze the balls. And there is also dynamite, and if you collect the dynamite, all the balls on the screen will break into the small pieces. This is kind of a cool little game. Again, dying with contact with even the smallest of a ball really sucks. So you need to learn to be able to move underneath them so that they don't touch you. In fact, it's often good to move just ahead of a ball and keep slinging your grappling hook upwards so that the balls run into it and you avoid getting hit. Yeah, that Vulcan missile is very, very, very nice to have. Note that there are little crystal floor spaces that you can shoot through. Now, sometimes the Vulcan missile does not seem to be able to shoot through it, so you might have to. Whoops! I died. So you might have to use your actual grappling hook to break through some of them. Oops! I lost my shield. Now, another thing to look out for is that the balls will not bounce off each other if they run into each other. They will just pass right through. So you just kind of have to understand the physics of certain things about the game. Yeah, those critters, the crab and the birds, they will disable your ability to fire your harpoon upwards for just a couple seconds or so. Yeah, sometimes getting that dynamite is not such a great idea. The screen can just be flooded with little balls, and touching any one of them is instantly fatal. There will be food bonus prizes that will fall from the sky sometimes, or they will drop from destroyed balls. And the further you get in the game, the more lucrative they get, and they can be as much as like 50,000 points. And you can get extra lives apart from just the yashichi. You can get an extra life at 20,000, 100,000, and then 1 million and 9 million. Again, some of those crystal blocks or floor spaces can be destroyed. Some of them just by your grappling hook, and some of them can be destroyed by the Vulcan missile. Yeah, hang on to that shield as long as you can, and pick them up right when you see them. And also that Vulcan missile is very, very useful. But you just kind of gotta understand the way that the movement of the bouncing balls works. Sorry, sometimes I get a little bit of slowdown from Bandicam. After doing the initial recording off of MAME, I have to record again with Bandicam because the size of the file will be way too big. And then once I've recorded with Bandicam, then I throw the original file away because it's just too big to be on my hard drive. There will be ladders that your explorer can climb. There's some fetching puzzle aspects to this game. You really have to use your brain to figure out whether you want to destroy floor spaces, whether or not you want to climb this ladder or that ladder, or drop off from a certain place. And try not to get pinched, or not pinched, caught in a corner. Ah, crap. The different locales include, well, they are all Mount Fuji, Mount Keirin, the Temple of the Emerald Buddha, Angkor Wat, Ayers Rock, the Taj Mahal, Leningrad, Paris, London, Barcelona, Athens, Egypt, Mount Kilimanjaro, New York, the Mayan ruins, Antarctica, and Easter Island. And the end of the game is Easter Island. And you will ride off in a Jeep. You can play 2 players simultaneous play in this game, which I don't think I mentioned yet. If you do, the second player is blonde and has like a pink outfit. Sorry, the sound got a little out of sync by this point. Yeah, Bandicam isn't great. Maybe I need to update it. But yeah, collecting the hourglass will restore time on your timer, I believe, and collecting the clock will freeze enemies. Yeah, Bandicam isn't the greatest. Hopefully they have an upgrade. And I think I saw this once at a nickel arcade. There's been a bajillion different versions of Pang. It's like Super Pang, just a bunch of different versions. But yeah, it was known as Buster Brothers in the US. There might have been one sequel in the US, like Super Buster Brothers or something. Ah, crap. If you play, note by this point, or you might have noticed already, that if you die, you have to start the stage over. You get the full-fledged balls from the beginning restored. Yeah, you will lose a life if you run out of time. And I think once the timer dips below 50 seconds, you will start to hear sort of a warning music telling you that you better finish the stage quickly. Unless you really don't know how to reach certain balls, then the stage should be pretty easy to clear in time. Or you shouldn't have to worry about your timer, at least. Yeah, you can kill those animals, or you'll freeze them for just a little while, one of the two. There were some bonus points. Yeah, contact with an animal will disable your ability to fire Vulcan missiles or your grappling hook. In really tight quarters, it's tough to it's tough to fire your grappling hook. So you might not be able to hit the ball if you're just ahead of it. I like the graphics in the background for whatever city or place that you're at. And again, you can stage select at the beginning of your game up to, like, I think the Taj Mahal or something. Maybe it was a little bit later. And there are 3 parts to each stage. And once you complete all 3 parts, then you fly off to the next location. If you play 2 players simultaneous play, if one player dies, then you both have to reset the stage. Just like in 1 player play, if they die. But yeah, look out for that yashichi, the Capcom cameo. We're going to look at snippets of the rest of the stages of the game. There are a total of 17 locations and 50 stages. Yeah, using the Vulcan missile on some of the blocks will not destroy it, but you might have to use your harpoons. But yeah, using the I put on invincibility just to try to get through the game quicker. Yeah, you get that shield, get the Vulcan missiles whenever you can. They're very, very useful. And if you get a time stop, you can actually go through the balls and not die. We're just looking at the remainder of the stages. There's only like a handful of looks at the there's only a handful of like different cut scenes where they show your explorer posing in some sort of way. So I'm not gonna show any more of them. Some of the stages have slippery floors, and you can't come to a complete stop when you run over them and let go of the joystick. Yeah, beware of the dynamite sticks. Yeah, by this point, the big bonus food item that drops from the sky is worth a lot of points, like 50,000 at this point. And since it takes a long time for you to get to your next extra life, try to pick those up. This is definitely worth checking out if you've never heard of the Buster Brothers or Pang series. The music is pretty decent in this game. I've never played or seen any of the other Buster Brothers or Pang games. Some of these areas you have to use intricate use of falling, hooking left or right as you fall, climbing up ladders a certain way. Note that I had a single ball in the upper left that I might have needed to use a grappling hook on the floor below it to break it instead of my Vulcan missile. I also used a cheat here to give me only Vulcan missile shots, which kept me from breaking certain crystal blocks. Yeah, that dynamite might not be something you want to pick up every time, because it can just flood the screen with little bouncing balls, and even the tiniest little ball is enough to kill your wussy ass explorer, even if he does look like Gohan and looks like he could use a Kamehameha. Hey, there's the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, we're just gonna look at snippets of the rest of the stages. It's that lucrative cheesecake, I think it is. Yeah, even the tiniest little gaps in the floors, the little balls can bounce through, and sometimes you might need to wait for them to do that. Yeah, the different animals that appear, there's like an owl, there's like an eagle, and a crab. And again, contact with them will keep you from being able to shoot your harpoons or Vulcan missiles or whatever for like a few seconds. Yeah, if you use the clock, if you collect the clock and freeze all the balls, you can actually go through them at that point and not die. We're almost through all the stages. Now we're in Antarctica. No penguins or sea lions or anything. Yeah, I only have the Vulcan missile shot here, so I needed a grappling hook to break through these floors here and release the balls. And here is Easter Island. And this is the last few stages. Or no, I think there's only 2 stages for Easter Island. And here is the ending. Right. Me and player 2 drive off in a Jeep. Yeah, player 2 is a blonde guy with sort of a pink Safari Explorer outfit. I don't know why they needed to jump with their Jeep, but whatever. That is Buster Brothers, also known as Pang. For most of the world, I believe it's known as Pang and just Buster Brothers in the US. But this was created by a Japanese company called Mitchell. Doesn't sound very Japanese, but licensed to Capcom in the US. This closing music almost makes me think of Conga by the Miami Sound Machine. But at any rate, that is Buster Brothers, created by Mitchell and licensed to Capcom in the US. We will see a little bit of 2-player simultaneous play in just a little bit. This was game number 14 in our 20 from 1989 series. Hope you're enjoying this series so far. I've certainly enjoyed recapping the 80s arcade scene with you all, and throwing in a bit of a time capsule as well. If you continue in this game, then you will not get to keep your score, unfortunately. Here's 2-player simultaneous play here. Yeah, if one player dies, then you both have to start the stage over from the very beginning. Just like if player 1 dies in a solo effort, have to start the stage all the way over. Now it's either going to be one player is kind of the mirror image of the second one in their pose, or they're just going to be posing right next to each other with the same pose. Nothing dynamic. See, like that. I don't know what their names are. I'm just gonna call player number 1 Gohan. I'm pretty sure Akira Toriyama had nothing to do with the design. It was just ripped off. There's one of the players dying. Yeah, now player number 1 has to continue. Well, that is Buster Brothers, game number 14 in our 20 from 1989 series, created by a company called Mitchell and licensed to Capcom. This is also known as Pang. Well, I thank you for watching, and I hope you join me soon for game number 13. Bye-bye, folks. Heaven is